Yeah, my earliest years, I'm just stubborn, man. I just never give up. I mean, there's no world where I ever would have quit. When I was 11, I just said, I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to die trying. And I meant it. And there was like, even if no one still watches my videos to this day, I would still be going. And so people hate it, but I'm just the most competitive, stubborn person you'll ever meet. And I just never give up. Feels like it was just in my DNA and my bloodstream. My mom hated it growing up. We'd always argue and like, she has this thing where like once Jimmy sets his mind to something, he just never stops. And it would always piss her off because when it was YouTube and she wanted me to be studying or things like that. But I really don't know. It's just always been how I am. And I think a lot of people have these weird tendencies and they tend to like try to like unlearn them. And like I had phases in my life where I was like, am I too extreme? Like people are very intimidated by me because I just am so obsessed with work and I'm so all in, and like, is this like unhealthy? Should I try to be more like a normal human? And especially when I was a teenager, it's a lot easier. It's funny when you're making lots of money, it's like admirable, it's respectable. It's like, look, those are traits we want. But when you're not successful, you're a lunatic when you have all these traits. And so back then I'd occasionally be like, man, like, should I try to be more normal? But I just could never do it. Anytime I tried to, I mean, I've mentioned this before, but one of the like things that like I have a memory of that like really is burned in my brain is like people one time like a high schooler told me when I was in middle school, like all you do is talk about YouTube. Like, do you like know how to do anything else? Like you're just like a freak. And I tried to like watch South Park, because that's what a lot of people in my school watch to fit in. And I just couldn't. I was like, this is such a waste of time. I could be working right now. And I tried to do all these things to like fit in, and I eventually just like stopped talking because I just didn't relate to anyone. And people used to call me mute. Like one of my teachers literally asked like if I was mute, like, cause that's how little I spoke, because no one in the school I went to was entrepreneurial or wanted to build businesses. And I just didn't want to do anything else. And eventually I started to succeed, found other lunatics, and now life's great. But I like to tell this story when I'm on podcasts, because if you have a younger viewer who's in that same spot, you're not the problem. It's your environment, and you just gotta put yourself in a better environment. It was like me and her spoke different languages when I was younger. She didn't want me to end up like them, and get screwed and not have much money. And like the path I was going down was just basically like, oh, I'm gonna be a homeless drug addict. And like her brain couldn't compute the world I saw, and my brain couldn't compute the world she saw, and it was constant friction. Nothing she would say was unreasonable, right? Looking back at it, she was perfectly reasonable in what she was doing. I'm just a deranged lunatic and was way too obsessed with building the business and way too all in. It's very cute. One time she, like when we had, I don't remember, like some month where made like $100,000, and I'm like, okay, perfect. Now I can spend $100,000 this next month on videos. And she like took like 5,000 of it and put it away for me in my own bank account without telling me. But in case I ever went, was over leveraged or went bankrupt like they did. And I found out about it. And she's like, please don't take this money. Just let me set aside anything. Stop spending everything on videos. And I was like, no, this is perfect. Now I can spend more. Like, this is awesome. Thank you, Mom. And like, but to me, I don't really feel risk. Like, if anything, it like risk excites me. And like, I have very high threshold for it. So yeah, we literally weren't communicating the same language. But I don't remember what age it was, but eventually after I took enough risks and figured it out, my mom just said to me, you know what, I'm going to trust you. Like, I have faith. And everything got so much better after that point, when like she stopped staying up all night worrying about me and worrying whether or not I was making the right decision, when she's just like, Jimmy, I trust you. I know this, you think about this all day. Like, I'm going to just follow your lead. And our relationship has been perfect ever since that. I found out that when I was at a young age, probably around 11, that there were YouTubers that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And I was just like, oh, that's it. Like,
it's just the money.
Yeah, of course. Because back then we didn't have money, and I really wanted to take care of my mom and just my family in general. So it was like everything. It was like, this is what I love doing. I've never had as much joy doing something as I do this. Plus I could see a path where I could actually retire my mom, take care of her, pay her back for, all the nights she worked so long so we could live comfortably.